Hi, everybody. This is Ewing, the artist in residence at the Boston Children's Museum, and I'm coming to you for another edition of Ask Eve. At the museum exhibition, A Map Home, which I was lucky enough to create at the Children's Museum, there's a box where kids can ask me questions about art or anything else, and this is where I get to answer some of those questions. So, our first question comes from Victoria Lopez, age 9, and she says, how can you make art art? That is a really good question, Victoria, because a lot of people disagree about what art is. Um, some art you might look at right away and say, that is art. I recognize that. It looks like a painting or a sculpture or something that's very familiar. Other things you might look at right away and not think that they're art. For example, there's a very famous piece of art by a French guy named Marcel Duchamp, and he actually took a urinal, like the kind you would see in a bathroom, and he put it in a museum, and he said it was art. So you might look at that and say, that's gross. What is that? That's something you'd see in a bathroom. It's not something that's art or that should be in a museum. But he said that it was art. And at the end of the day, people can disagree about what art is, but I would say that art is anything that you can make or create or do that helps express an idea or a feeling or an experience you have in a way that is understandable for other people or makes them think something or feel something. So I bet you've been making a lot of art and maybe you didn't even know it. But as soon as you put some intention behind it, like you have an idea in your head and you want to share it with other people, that's what makes art art. Our next question comes from Sophie, age 10, and Sophie says, why is art sometimes weird? I have that question for myself too. I think art is sometimes weird because people are sometimes weird. We have a lot of funny ideas and dreams and thoughts and opinions, strange things that happen to us. Like, for example, have you ever had a dream and you woke up and you're like, wow, that was really weird. I don't even understand what it was about. Or a really funny drawing that you made or a silly joke that you made with your friends. People are really strange. And at the end of the day, art is about expressing people's experiences and the things that we see in the world. So that's why art is weird, because people are weird. Our last question for today comes from Emily Hughes, age 7. And Emily wants to know, what is my favorite painting? So I have a lot of different favorite paintings, but if I had to pick one, I will show you it. I happen to have it in a book that's right here. It's by an artist named Heber Brantley that I like a lot. And the painting is called After Love, There's Much to Clean Up. And this is what it looks like. You can see that it has this girl, and she's pointing to her heart. Maybe she feels sad or happy, but she's feeling kind of expressive, and she has on these goggles and a helmet that are really common in Heber Brantley's work. And there's a guy cleaning up a mess, and it looks like she got shot in the arm with an arrow, like maybe Cupid shot her in the arm. So I like that painting a lot. I really like this character. You can see Heber Brantley makes a lot of different paintings with the same character. Her name is Fly Girl, and I really relate to this painting for a lot of reasons. Sometimes I feel like my heart is just out there for people. Like, for example, when I put my art in a place where you can see it and think about it and ask me questions about it, it makes me feel like my heart is public, and that love is so important to what we do. And I also just like it because it's cool. It's visually interesting. It has this little guy that's like cleaning up, and like that's kind of strange, right? To the earlier question about art being weird. Like, why is there this little man on a table? What are these Campbell's soup cans about? Is that related to the artist Andy Warhol, who used to make a lot of soup can paintings that were very famous? Who knows? I have a lot of questions and ideas about it. But I have a lot of favorite paintings, but that's just one. If you see me at the museum, I'm happy to talk to you about others. But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for your great questions, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.